Happy Friday, everyone. Thanks for joining us on Business Daily. Coming to you live from Seoul, I'm Lee Ji-yoon. We have a lot to look forward to this morning, so let's get started. Robots can clean your homes and dance to your favorite music. We take you behind the scenes of Robo Universe Expo, where robots can do things you've never imagined they could do before. Korea's finance ministry announces plans to push out a $13.6 billion stimulus package to breathe more life into the economy. Seoul and Tokyo have failed to agree on that ongoing dispute about Korea's import ban on Japanese marine products. Korea's trade ministry said the two sides held a two-day consultative meeting at the headquarters of the World Trade Organization in Geneva, aiming to resolve the trade complaint filed by Tokyo last month. But now, with no agreement, Japan is expected to ask the WTO to establish a dispute settlement panel. Seoul first implemented the ban amid fears over food safety in the wake of the Fukushima nuclear accident in 2011. Currently, all seafood from 8 prefectures surrounding Fukushima cannot enter Korean markets. As a record low key interest rate pours liquidity into the markets, Korea Exchange says the combined market cap of the country's 3 main bourses, the Kospi, Kosdaq, and Konex, has jumped by 14% from last year's figures. The market cap swelled by $153 billion in the first half of this year, bringing it to a total of $1.4 trillion as of Friday. Following 2 interest rate cuts by the Bank of Korea this year, putting it at 1.5%, liquidity has flowed into stocks as well as the housing market. Apple smartwatch is now up for grabs here in Korea, with the simultaneous launch in 6 other countries, including Italy and Mexico, on this Friday. Consumers in Korea have access to 3 models, which are the Apple Watch Sport, and Apple Watch Edition. The cheapest model is about $360, but the device can fetch up to a lofty $17,000 for the gold case edition. The Apple Watch includes email and social media services, but unlike other competitors, it does not include an independent communication function, meaning you have to connect to an iPhone to receive calls. The Korean government plans to pump more than $13 billion into the Korean economy in hopes of keeping the country's growth in the 3% range. Now, this comes as it trimmed the country's growth outlook by 0.7 percentage points following a squeeze in spending from the MERS outbreak. Our Shin Se-min has the details.
Korea's finance ministry announced plans to inject more than 15 trillion won, or $13.6 billion into the economy to keep the country's growth in the 3% range. Finance Minister Choi Kyung-hwan said Thursday that the stimulus package, including the supplementary budget, will help counter the economic fallout from the current MERS outbreak and damages from the drought.
The government will mobilize all available financial resources, including the planned additional budget and other state funds, to spur the economy.
The minister added that it was too early to confirm the exact size of the supplementary budget, as the impact of the MERS outbreak is still being monitored. But some say even the extra budget may not be enough.
Although the supplementary budget was a much-needed boost to our economy, usually only 60 to 70% of the budget is actually reflected.
The finance ministry lowered its economic forecast to 3.1% this year, down from its previous projection of 3.8%. Korea saw its exports contract over 5.5% on year in the first 5 months of this year, and the unexpected MERS outbreak is estimated to have played a role in lowering the annual economic growth forecast by 0.2 to 3 percentage points. The government added that it will announce alternative measures by the end of next month on the country's key pending issues, including the country's staggering youth unemployment rates and the sliding exports. Shin Se-min, Business Daily.
Ranging from a Hyundai Sonata to a Ferrari sports car, there's a wide variety of cars you can see here on the streets of Korea. And as competition heats up to win the hearts of more customers, a lot of car makers are now thinking outside of the box. Our Lee Joo-young has the story.
At this motor festival, visitors get to experience twice the fun, watching race cars speed by, riding on this driving simulator, and of course, folding their own paper cars. The event, which attracted over 100,000 people in 2 days, is part of a larger marketing strategy by Korea's biggest auto manufacturer, Hyundai Motor.
We wanted to create a synergy effect through alliances among car-related industries and expand knowledge of motorsports by educating consumers across different age groups.
Hyundai is not the only one. Korea's second-largest automaker, Kia Motors, has also been holding similar weekend festivals, inviting participants to enjoy a driving experience with professional racers, topped off with concerts and performances. These large motor festivals represent the growing number of creative marketing strategies employed by local car makers to boost brand recognition and connect it to better sales, as they continue to struggle with poor performance. According to Korea Automobile Importers and Distributors Association, sales figures for domestic car brands have ticked down, posting a negative growth again last month. Total sales for domestic vehicles shrunk by 9%, while individually, Hyundai's sales tumbled by 12% and Kia slid by 7%. Foreign auto producers are looking to capitalize on this trend. While BMW is running a driving center, other companies such as Mercedes-Benz and Volvo have been operating pop-up stores, all as they look to grab a stronger base of younger consumers. Lee Joo-young, Business Daily.
Robots that once filled our imaginations when we're little are now entering our reality, as it's becoming easier to meet robots that not only clean our homes, but also watch our pets. And our Eunice Kim joins us in the studio today to tell us more about these robots. Hello, Eunice.
Hello, Ji-yoon. Well, it is Friday, so I thought I'd bring along some friends, if you will. Let's go ahead and take a look. And there they are. They're going to do a little dance for us, I believe.
And is that size Gangnam Style I'm seeing right now?
You think? I think you're right. I think you're right. What do you think about their moves?
No, they're so smooth, and actually they're really better dancers than I am.
Right. Wow. I don't know about that, but they were developed by a local robotics company here in Korea, Robotics, and we'll be hearing about them a little bit more in a little bit. But certainly, when you think of robots, you may think of stiff movements, but these guys have joints closer to humans, showing off gestures that are smooth and free. So from dancing robots to disaster relief, let's take a look at the diversifying robotics industry.
A meeting place of the world's top robots and the technologies that make them move. What's different at this year's Robo Universe Expo are the presence of robots created for the service industry than for manufacturing as it was in the past. Robots created to do manual work in the agricultural sector to androids with an abundance of facial features to be used for promotional projects.
I work in healthcare, so that's very exciting to me that you can rescue people without harming other people. Very good.
According to one study, the market for service robots will expand, quadrupling that of industrial robots by the year 2020. Particularly, the growth rate of Korea's robot market is shown to be twice that of the world market, and much work is being put into the service sector, which posts 3 times the pace of expansion of the global average. Korea's service robot technology is already recognized on the world stage. Earlier this month, Hubo, Korea's first bipedal robot born in 2004, took the top prize at an international disaster relief robot competition in California.
Well, certainly Korea is one of the leading clusters of robotics throughout the world. So this is a nation that's known for technological innovation and great manufacturing capabilities.
This is Robotics, a domestic robotics company that builds many robots, from those used for professional research to children's education. In just the past 3 years, it has exported more than 500 robots globally.
A new robot market is emerging as they take on roles outside of the factories, such as in the realms of IT, medical, and surveillance. As such, Korea has a new growth opportunity. And you can see we're seeing a promising start with lots of efforts and positive results.
Wow, Eunice, those robots are really impressive.
Aren't they adorable too?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, watching your story, the era of one robot per person doesn't really seem that far off. But if there are any robots that we can see in our daily lives, are there any that you can tell us about?
Well, perhaps the most common one that we see around the home is the vacuuming robot.
Yes.
You know, they're the round ones that kind of zoom past the floors, but more personal robots are certainly in the pipeline. For example, in the United Kingdom, there was a robo-chef recently unveiled. It's still in the early stages, not ready for market quite yet, but basically a sous chef in the kitchen, if you will. And over in Japan, there was a humanoid robot that's said to be able to read human emotions. So a sort of friend robot, if you will. There were 1,000 copies of these, and they actually sold out in a minute, even though they cost them $1,600. That's according to reports.
$1,600.
Right.
But then I would actually want to try one of those too.
Yeah.
But we can definitely expect the demand for these robots to grow, not only in hospitals and factories, but also in our homes, I guess.
Right.
But I heard that Korea is still years behind in this industry.
Right, 4 to 5 years behind compared to other global counterparts such as the US and Japan, in which private and public entities are aggressively pouring capital into research and developing robots. We're talking companies like Google, Apple, SoftBank, and Toyota, Honda, and Nissan in Japan.
But then what's keeping Koreans behind that?
Well, I would have to say the larger companies don't see, I guess, short-term returns yet on robotics. So a lot of people say that is probably what is keeping them from pouring too much capital into it. But there are, in fact, several high-caliber robotics companies, some of which you saw in the report. But they happen to be more medium and small-sized companies, thus they do run into challenges for marketing as well as exports.
All right, let's hope to see more support from the government and conglomerates, I guess, to propel Korea into a leading robotics country, right?
Absolutely, it's the future.
Yes. All right, thank you so much for coming in today.
You bet.
And that does it for today. Hope we are able to walk you through the week with business news that mattered to you. Thank you so much for staying with us throughout our program, and we'll be back next week. Have a great weekend, everybody.